What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf rival Overwatch Reaper Collector Pack blasters. This combo pack is based on the Reaper character from the video game Overwatch and comes with a pretty cool functional prop style blaster and a neato mask. Let's get into it. Not terribly space efficient packaging. Included with this collector pack are 2 blasters, mask, 16 custom rival rounds, and the instructions. The combo pack comes with 2 blasters, but they're identical, so I'm just going over one. External overview, starting up with the front of the blaster. Of course, this is a rival blaster, so it does not have an in-strike attachment lug, so you cannot put on other barrel extensions or whatnot. But that's to be expected out of the rival series. Up top, no rival rails or in-strike tactical rails. No rails that are functional of any kind. This flat bit up here kind of looks like it could be a rail, but it's not a functional rail, at least an in-strike or any type of Nerf rail at all. But up on the top of the blaster is the magazine loading port. The internal magazine holds 8 rival rounds. To load the magazine, you pull back the priming handle, which is this guy, like that, and leave it open. The prime action opens up the magazine port, so then you can just push in your balls like that. This loading system is similar to the rival Chronos, but the capacity of the Reaper blaster is 8 instead of the Chronos' 5. And unlike the Chronos, after you prime back the blaster, you don't have to open up a flap or anything. There's no flap here, you just prime back and then shove in balls, which makes reloading a little bit easier, and of course you have a higher capacity than the Chronos' 5. After you load in your rival rounds, you manually shut the priming handle like that. Now you're ready to fire once. But the prime action works very smoothly. I haven't had any jams or malfunctions with the blaster. To the other side of the blaster, we have 2 little switches right here. The bottom one, the big one, is the safety, or the trigger lock. In the safe position, when you cannot see red, it's safe, and then you flick it to the hot mode, and you can fire. This is by no means a tactical safety, one that you would activate in the middle of a game because it takes too much effort to move from safe to hot. But it's there, so you can use it if you want. If not, just leave it hot, and it's like it's not even there. Above the trigger safety is an unjamming button. After you prime this blaster, you're not able to prime it again because it's a single shot blaster. But if the blaster jams, sometimes you need to reprime the blaster, so this lock, when you press on it, that allows you to open up the chamber, clear out any jam, and then continue firing. That also allows you to shotgun load, so if you want to fire 2 balls at once and you're not even jammed, you can press that to shotgun load in 2 and then shoot off 2 at once instead of 1. Down to the trigger itself, the release is pretty standard. It is a pretty cool looking trigger because it's like a blade instead of a plate like most Nerf triggers. And this blaster is single fire only. It does not have slam fire as an option. And back to the grip of this blaster. Now, I don't really like this grip angle. I prefer a traditional pistol grip, which is more vertical instead of this weird slant, but it feels very similar to a rough cut. The whole platform feels similar-ish to a rough cut. The weighting and balance is quite a bit different, but if you really like the rough cut and specifically the grip angle and how it holds in your hand, this is pretty similar. But this blaster is based off of a video game gun, something that a graphic designer engineered instead of an actual engineer, so they didn't have to put their hands on a computer model. It's just based around a fictitious character in a video game, so those graphic designers wanted to make the gun look cool in the video game, but it's not especially comfortable, especially right here in the grip where your middle finger rests. It's kind of cramped, sharp, and uncomfortable. I really don't like the grip at all. But let's get real, at this price point and the performance of these blasters, people aren't going to be buying these to actually use them in Nerf battles. It's primarily for cosplay guys. But that's the overview of the Reaper blaster. Again, it comes with 2 in the collector set, but these are identical blasters, so I'm not going over the other. Onto the mask, also included in this kit. Now, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed by this mask. I was not expecting a decent adult style mask. I've worn a number of masks like for kids or for Halloween, like super budget. This one seems nicer, like it's designed for adults or to last a little while, instead of like one party, then it rips by the end of the night, but you don't care because you're never going to wear it again. So the mask itself is made primarily from plastic, but on the outside here, they have this texturized finish that's almost like rubberized. The mask slides onto your head with this pretty nice head strap, one around the side and the one around the top. And you can adjust the tightness of the side and the top strap so you can just really clamp it to your face if you need to. So I wouldn't worry too much about it being dislodged from your head, and it is pretty comfortable if you don't wear eyeglasses. Inside the mask, where the mask touches your face, there's like this outline of pretty much like eye goggles, so just a massive piece of rubber that touches all the way around your face, including the side. So if you wear eyeglasses like me, you might have to cut into the rubber to allow the side bands of your eyeglasses to fit in there. This mask will completely protect your eyes from anything the size of a rival round, but if you have smaller projectiles, it will fit in there. So this definitely wouldn't work as like an airsoft mask where somebody throws glitter at you. I don't know why they're doing that, but it will totally get through the side there into your eyeball. It's definitely not a real protective mask. If you need to get shot in the face by something, like other than a Nerf projectile, you might replace the plastic lenses and full seal that up. And the mask is fairly breathable, and if you're communicating with somebody else, this whole area right here is mesh, so you can breathe and speak relatively clearly right out of the front of the mask where your mouth is. But the side grills are fake. There's no ventilation there. It's only out of the mouth. The plastic lenses here do cause a little bit of distortion though, so it's definitely not safe to like drive. Well, you can't read perfectly. You can see everything around you, but there's a little bit of distortion, like there's a mirage kind of effect. That's just because of the slightly cheaper plastic they use for the lens. For most mask people, myself included, the distortion isn't a big deal, but if you want to wear it for like 8 hours, I know that feel, you need to have clear plastic lenses. So that is the product overview of the mask and the blaster. Again, to fire the blaster, prime back, load in 8 rival rounds, shut the priming handle, and pew pew. Let's go. Firing the Overwatch Reaper blasters was pretty fun. It's very similar to a Chronos in the loading system and sort of how you operate it. And through my testing procedure, I did not have any jams or malfunctions of the Overwatch Reaper blaster. To measure firing performance, I put the blaster up on my chronograph and I achieved an average velocity of 81 feet per second with normal Nerf rival rounds. So that 81 FPS is a little bit softer than most rival blasters on the market right now, but I think these blasters are clearly made for prop enthusiasts, not hardcore Nerfers. My firing demo and the chrono tests were done with standard yellow Nerf rival rounds, but it came with these cool like red-orange rival rounds. On one side they say Nerf, and on the other it's the Overwatch logo. It's not a proper red, it's really just a red-orange, almost like a coquelicot color. They look snazzy, but they perform just like Nerf rival rounds, and if you buy the blaster and you need more ammo, this is obviously compatible with standard yellow Nerf rival rounds. That is all of the objective information on the Overwatch Reaper blasters. Now to my personal opinion on this product. Overall, I did not have any issues with the performance of the blaster. I did not have any jams or malfunctions. Using them was pretty fun. That being said, I think it's grossly overpriced if you're not an Overwatch enthusiast. Retailing for about $130 US from GameStop. It's 2 blasters plus a mask. If you're a hardcore Nerfer, they are not performance-based blasters. It's very clear these blasters are prop tier blasters. It's designed to look just like the video game one, even if it compromises the function of the blaster. The grip, for example, I don't think is comfortable for a real-life human to hold. I think it's modeled after the video game, and again, that was designed by a graphic designer, not an industrial designer. Designed to look cool in a video game in virtual space, but not necessarily if you need to put your hand on it, because that's just kind of awkward. For a competitive Nerfer, this form factor is just kind of in between a functional pistol that you can holster and a real primary. With a capacity of only 8 rounds, you'll get completely destroyed in an actual Nerf rival battle, and it's too big to be a legitimate handgun or sidearm. So to buy or not to buy, if you're a competitive Nerfer and you don't have any interest in Overwatch the video game, I would not recommend the purchase. But if you're an Overwatch enthusiast and you just want to plink around with some Nerf blasters that look just like the video game blasters or guns, they work well. It did not have any jams or malfunctions. The performance is fun. It has an 8-round capacity, which is definitely better than the Chronos. And the firing performance is certainly good enough to have fun with. You might get outgunned by like a Nemesis or the hardcore rival blasters, but if you're not competing against hardcore competitive Nerfers, you'll be fine. So no jams or malfunctions or any horrendous design flaws that make it completely unbearable. It's just not my taste, and it's very expensive for what it is as a Nerfer, because again, I'm not an Overwatch fan. And I am by no means a mask expert, but this mask seems pretty nice. I would feel comfortable wearing it for not too long, but at least 2 hours, I think, if I had my contact lenses in or if I modified the rubber in here to fit my eyeglasses in. But it sits securely on your face, it allows you to breathe pretty easily, and it looks cool. That's personally what I look for in a mask, and it does all of those things pretty well. So that concludes my video review of the Overwatch Reaper blasters. If you're interested in purchasing this, it is a GameStop exclusive. Link in the description box below. That concludes this video. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.